Let's see. So this is my current journal, and the whole thing is always just a work in progress. So I update certain pages sometimes, like I won't update this for a week or a month, and then come back and update it later. So I put my weekly spread in the index, since that's mainly what I'm doing, and it's pretty much always every other page. So I'm just going to go through this real quick, and please chime in if you have any questions, because that's the whole point of this part anyways. This is a very rough sketch, and I want to perfect this before I share it on the blog, but this is like my full week, and like I separate each day, the hours on the side, and I'm doing kind of my schedule every week is pretty much the same, except for weekends are always different. So this is I don't know if you might have saw this on the Tombow Takeover, but this is the song faves by month. And so this is, again, I used a lot of color here. It was the Tombow, the dual brush pens that I have. And so I did the Spotify top tracks on the right part, and then my favorite songs. And I filled this out at the first week of the month, which I haven't done September yet because I don't know which song to put yet, but I'll go to this website that I put down here, spotifycharts.com, and find which song's the most popular on their list, and I'll put it each. It's just another little cool thing to look back on. This is my Gulf seafood spread. Since I live right on the Gulf, Alabama, we are foodies and love cooking fresh seafood. So I found this cool chart in this pamphlet that I got at a restaurant, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta add that to the journal because we totally reference this all the time. So it's September right now, and all the checked ones, these are stamps of course, so I put the stamps in of what is in season. So amberjack is, but black drum is not, and etc. So it's a full year of what's in season. This is my July monthly, and this is completely different than any other monthly spread I've ever done. Like each day, like these are weekends, they're a little bit shorter, but I track this is the key down here. I track my feel productive, my planning 15 minutes, which I try and do each day, but it doesn't necessarily always happen, and it's the yes and the no. So green means I did both on those days. And then across the bottom is 3, 4, and 5, mood, energy, and food, like whether I ate well or didn't eat well. And that key goes with these, so the best and the worst. But I do try and come in and fill it in with fun stuff throughout the month. So anyways, I was talking about the currently section. This is kind of like the currently section. This is from July. Currently reading, watching, learning, and even now, looking back, I'm like, I was wanting a Roomba back wanting a Roomba back in July. Still haven't gotten a Roomba, but it's off my want list now. I'm gonna wait till I save up enough to get one. But this is a fun sleep tracker. It's how many hours I'm tracking, and then just connect the lines. I just did a dashed line just for fun. I added a gratitude section here, and lunch and dinner trackers there. And these are my mood and energy trackers. So this was a New Orleans trip that I was planning. We did everything until here, and then we kind of changed our plans here. This was a plan, and then this is actually what I did, what I wrote down after we got done from New Orleans, and it was fun. Here's some more trackers, different trackers. This is the sleep tracker, step tracker, water tracker. I just try and come up with any different types that I can. And there's another one of my fun stamps that are coming out. Super excited about. I went through when I got the stamps to test them out so I could just see where I could put them and whatnot. So these are other trackers. So this is books to read, and I'm just trying, that's like a big thing, is Audible. This year I've been just obsessed. So try and read a lot of self-improvement books and, productivity books, just because that I'm doing a lot of this, and I just want to learn as much as I can so I can tell you guys everything I learn. And it's been super fun to learn. This was when I turned a year old, the blog and everything. It was a whirlwind year, but it was great thanks to all of you out there that have helped make this dream kind of come to reality. I'm still working full time, but I'm still loving this and just wanting to continue with this. So some of my monthly spreads I kind of neglect a little bit. Like you can see, a lot of these are blank, but I do put a lot of main things. Like my first lab session, that was August 20th last time. And then the stamp submit, like was a goal I was working towards, and we finally got the sample. It's just cool to like look back on. And see, I never finished this. But to stuff like this, I can go back and look at the ones from the future and go back and track. So sometimes I'll just spend an hour or two and go back and fill in everything. So if you don't fill out your journal every day, don't worry, you're not the only one. And I just released a new blog post that says what to do if you miss a day or 5 in your journal. Like if you skip a whole week, it's okay. I swear, it's okay. Some people get stressed out about it and let them stress it out, but you don't need to worry about that because it's your own journal and you can do whatever you want to with it. Okay, so this is a fun one that was real popular. And this actually does have the key, so I think I used that key earlier too. So worst to best, and use whatever colors you want, but that's how I track my mood, energy, and productivity here. So this was a weekend that Grandma visited, and she talked a lot about some fun things, so that night I was like, I need to write this stuff down or else I'll forget it like in the future, but just fun, memory kind of things. This is one of my most complex spreads, but it was fun. This was the Charlie, because it looks like Charlie Brown's shirt. So it does have the key here too. See, it has my favorite song from a few weeks ago that I don't even really listen to. Mood and energy trackers, I just use the lines and I just dot them just because it looks cool when I do it. And these are another stamps, some of my stamps that I used when I was going through. This was the first time I did the daily Zen, and I would just do Zen doodle a day. That was what I was reading at the time, and look back on the projects that I was working on, and this really wasn't that long ago, so I'm still kind of working on the same projects. And then the key I use that here, and I really like how that turns out. And instead of coloring in fully every single one, I would just, make the diagonal lines just to make it prettier. In the weather section, sometimes I'll put a high and a low, and I'll fill that in either at the beginning or the end of the day, but it just depends on what it is. So this is 20th through 27th. This has a huge currently section on the side. This was the birthday weekend. This was last weekend. I planned it out first, and then I wrote down what I actually did on the birthday, which was a great day. Here's another cool little tracker down here. If you don't have colors, this is another little tip. If you don't want to color every single night or something like that, but if you have trackers like this, like the mood and energy, what I do sometimes is just put like kind of like at the end of the day, just put like a little dot of your pen. Like put a little line or a dot here, so you know kind of at the end of the day what it is, instead of going back and estimating how your mood was on Monday or whatever. I just put the little dot and then come in later and color it in when I have time to sit down and actually do it. This is another part of the Tombow takeover that I shared drawing this, and I love this actually. It turned out way cooler than I thought it would, but these are just different things you can track in your journal. And that's kind of on the blank space ideas in the companion, this kind of stuff. So let's see. This is 2017 adventures, just kind of things I did. These are just, again, just like fun spreads that I like to do. Hello September. And this is a habit tracker. These are yes or no habits, or what I'm calling them. And yes is I use a dot, and no an X. Super simple tracking. No colors, no anything. It's like the most simplistic you can get. And it's actually pretty good about following habits too. Auburn football schedule. difficult this weekend, but I put the fight song and I put our schedule. And then this is this past week. So yes, I'll see here. I was just doing the lines when I was at the end of the day instead of going in. And I still need to fill in these, which I'm going to do this afternoon to fill it in fully. And then this is my fantasy football schedule, which I'm excited about, but I was putting the team colors in, and this is another fun little thing. If you do have these dual brush pens, they send you this tracker with all the colors, and so I put dots beside the ones I do have. And so when I was filling out the team colors here, I put in pencil what color I wanted to use from this because it has their numbers here. And then I went back and found the colors that I do have and colored in, but I've got to still complete that before I share it because I really like it, but I just need some more colors to add. And so this is this coming week. That's the one we just did. And then this is the one we did last live session. So that's just the journal now. I did do the VMA voting. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I did share that. That was kind of a last minute decision, and it was fun. I hope to do a few more. But the rest of it's blank. So if you have any other questions, now's the time to ask, like any kind of supplies questions or anything like that. So once I do my spreads, and I'll do them a week in advance, and so once I get the spreads done, I actually do have, you know, a few weeks that I'm not drawing spreads, I'm just filling in the spreads. So it's kind of just like an off and on process. And I do use a lot of whiteout, you can see. I definitely did in the September spread. So anyways, any other questions before I wrap this up? Make sure to go to the pinned comment and subscribe there so I can send you the links, and you can enter the giveaway immediately. When you sign up, you enter the giveaway, and I will send out, hopefully tonight, a summary. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Next time, I'm glad this one went a little bit quicker than last time, and we got that done, and I would love to see you at the next session, and hopefully I'm going to try and do this every 2 weeks. And as long as this time is good for everybody, I like the, you know, afternoon-ish time that we can do it, just so different time zones can kind of come in and get everything. So, all right, thank you guys. I'm going to wrap it up, and until next time, bye.